Hey everybody, welcome back to Sergeant's Talk TV. I'm Big Mike.
Normal size Jason.
Hey guys, did you hear? I'm going to say it one more time. Big Mike wasn't invited to David's birthday, and I left the sound on the other computer.
Well, you always got to do something consistent, right?
That's right.
You had everything checked out. We were doing all the op checks, and it happened.
But I just wanted everybody to know that I had a great gift for David. A great gift. It would have blown everybody else's gift away. But now we don't get it.
It seems fair. You don't get an invite, you don't get the gift.
That's right. David gave me this song and dance on his live. Hey, brother, I'm so sorry. Wait till we see each other face to face, bro. And I'm on the morning talks with Mike. I told everybody, go tell David. And they did.
Oh, yeah.
They ran like scurried dogs over there and told him. Okay. But anyway, now I want to wish our brother David, hope he has a great 84th birthday.
Yeah. Today is his actual birthday. So
yeah, his 84th.
84. Yeah.
That's what it said on the cake. 84.
Yeah.
Or is it 48?
I mean, they put it on the cake as 48, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be like 84.
Yeah. 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 But man, guys, don't he have a looker for a girlfriend? Man. And she seems like a great person.
Oh, she fits in so perfect.
Really? I seen Tara's live with her.
Yeah. Did we? Well, and that was
not her live, but her morning.
Right. We did a crossover coffee chat.
Talking with chickens or ducks or whatever. That morning show you guys do.
Right. Every once in a while, we were looking at it the other day. We're like, we haven't put one out in like 10 days. We're horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, she was on it. I mean, her and Mike at DD5, they ran, the party. I literally watched him shoving David back down in a chair. Like he wasn't allowed to get up to get nothing.
Yeah.
I think he started up the big green egg for the.
So wait a minute. So Mike was in charge of the invite list?
I think so. Well, so here's the funny part.
Oh, that's a horse of a different color.
Mike was in charge of making the food, but then we were talking to Mike. Like we talked to David. David had talked to us at Freedom Weekend and basically guilt tripped my wife into saying, "You'll be here or else."
Yeah.
But then, so when we showed up, Mike at DD5 didn't even know we were coming. And then, but I guess like Jamie, Kevin, a lot of the other people had all talked to Mike.
Yeah.
And there was a couple other people that Mike had messaged Mike about it, but then he got so busy with trying to plan because I think originally he was trying to do it somewhere else. So that David didn't have to work for nothing. And David's like, no, I want to do it at home.
Well, that's good to know because I have a few things for Mike that Mike wanted over here. And now I was going to put him on a trailer and haul everything over there so they didn't have to make a third trip because they've come over here twice and picked up stuff, the hog pen and some other stuff, telephone poles, all kinds of stuff. So now I may have them make a third trip. But anyway, guys, we're just playing.
Yeah. But back to it, yeah, Danielle is awesome. She's excited to really start branching out and actually being able to be part of the videos and get some more about herself out there. But I mean, she was a natural with everybody. So
yeah, that was a good video Tara did. I think she called it a crossover from the coffee talk with chickens or whatever to your main channel. So that was a good interview. So everybody got to see Danielle and see her point on everything. So I'm glad she's now part of the family and everybody welcomed her in. So, hey, before we go any further, let's say hello to the people in the chat.
Let's do it.
There is Byron and Brenda Hulk and Colum.
What's up, Colum?
Good to see you, little brother.
Still love that he's rocking that shirt. That's awesome.
Yeah. And there is Mr. Chris over at Mr. Leonard Mountain Homestead, the patriarch of the family.
Or Bobby over at Pettit Jean River.
There's our favorite female MP, Denise. How are you doing?
I see Judy Herman saying hello to everybody.
Uh-oh, the mouse is stuck. Are you? Oh, there it goes. Wow. Sir Paul Honeyman, my Morning Talks with Mike co-host from England.
I keep saying I want to get on and do your morning talks with you, but with this heat, we have to be working by then. And I'm like,
I got you.
As long if you're doing them still during the wintertime, oh yeah.
Yeah, because then you have to stay in until, a little bit later so you don't get frostbite.
Right.
There you go. And
there's
our favorite female Marine. I was about to call her an MP. There's Dana Mason.
See, Karen Hernicky making it in.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I didn't know if your mouse quit, so I was.
Kentucky Bluegrass Living, welcome in.
Good to see you.
There's Liam McGothigan.
Over across the pond.
I'm watching, since this is an open mic anyway, and no, by the way, the link is at the top of the chat if you'd like to come in and talk to us. We would appreciate that as you come in and tell us your thoughts, stories, or whatever, or even just put a shout out for your channel. We don't give no never mind. But I'm watching this show on Netflix, and it came out. It was 4 seasons. It's called The Royals. And one of the kids of the royal family, his name is Liam. And I was thinking of Liam McGothigan. Mm-hmm. I know that might be a slap to the face, putting you in with the royal family and all that. But one of them is Liam. And I said, man, I know a Liam.
We do. Liam. There's Shiloh's, Michiganders.
How you doing?
Hopefully get to, I think we got some plans. We're going to actually be able to meet them in person in September.
All right.
Yeah, we're making our trip. We actually got our campsite reserved up north already, so.
Oh, Danielle was in charge of the invites.
Now, I will tell you right now about Danielle with the whole being in charge. She put David in his place, and she was, hey, I'm the boss around here. You just do what the heck I tell you to do. See? And yeah,
isn't that what marriage is all about?
Right.
And you might as well train David now.
Right. Oh, you got to get him young, right? Get him early. Yeah. Don't fluff it first and then be like, hey, I'm going to change the rules later. You just start out right now.
That's right. We love all our brothers and sisters.
I don't know where.
Well, I think that they said because you just got done with surgery and all that stuff is one of the reasons. What is this?
Oh,
Jonesy!
What's up, Jonesy?
It's cold.
It's cold. That's right. It's winter down under.
Yeah, I just thought I'd come up and say hi. But
he just wants to see us sweat more, watching him all bundled up in the cold, and he's like, "Hey, it's either bragging or torture, one of the two."
Well, let me tell you, I had to work yesterday. I'm working with a contractor for the power lines here, and yesterday we had a big storm come through and wires down, and we were out in the rain, and icy winds and sleet, and it was absolutely. I'm thinking of changing careers, but yeah, today we're waiting on the people that didn't finish till after midnight to turn up to this job to fix.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, there's my brother with the same hairstyle.
Yeah.
Good.
I see that you got your Radio Jonesy Tasmania
Yes.
billboard on your chest. That's good.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah,
go
yeah.
and check out his channel.
Yeah, and I
What the
just changed.
winter's like in Tasmania?
What's the what like?
What's the weather like in Tasmania?
Right now, 6 Celsius, which is not that bad. That'd be about middle 40s, would it? 6 Celsius.
Yeah.
But it's not that bad. But it's just the wind and the rain and the sleet. Just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
So do you get trapped in a lot, Jonesy? Because like for anybody that's been able to watch, some of your stuff, especially Outback Tasmania, where they can see your backyard, like we call our place a ridge, but Jonesy definitely beat us. Like his elevation change is, there's Jonesy's backyard, and so the roads obviously coincide with it. How long do you with snow, ice? Do you guys get trapped at home a lot?
Nah, not where I live, but if just out of town, they don't do. When there's black ice, they put gravel on the road instead of salt. They put gravel on the road, make it so your tires can grip something.
Yeah.
But it's we don't do salt here. It does too much damage. The salt. Everyone learns how to drive on black ice or snow. But I could drive 20 minutes away and I'd be in snow right now from where I am.
Oh, okay.
Tasmania is like this. It's like the Hawaiian Islands by the South Pole. You know how there's mountains everywhere, and it's very mountainous and valleys, but hey, I just wouldn't be anywhere else. Look at me, I'm loving it.
Inside the car with the heat on.
I am actually, yeah. It's
4 cue balls.
Yeah, it's overcast, but it's it's that time of year. If you wouldn't live here unless you expected the cold weather in winter.
Yeah.
Just come to the territory.
Hey,
but
look at this old way on. My brother Ryan, just on the other side of town. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, your morning show, Mike. Your mornings with Mike, 1 a.m. I don't like it.
Okay.
But I like watching the replay because I like listening to this fella.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul has some good insights.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a monkeys.
Not
That's
always
it.
user-friendly, but he has some insights. That is true. Hey, I did run into a veteran today. I was at AutoZone, and I said,
Mike?
I pulled out my military ID card to get my 10% discount, right, at AutoZone. So if you guys ever go into AutoZone, make sure you register that you're a veteran. Just show them your ID card or a copy of your driver's license if it has a star or veteran on it or whatever, and you can get that 10% discount on all the shelf items that are in the store. And O'Reilly's is the other one too. O'Reilly's gives it to you. And I think the other one that I'm registered at is, what is that other big auto parts? There's AutoZone.
Advanced Auto, I'm pretty sure.
Advanced Auto.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those gives a military discount. So
Mike,
take advantage of that, guys.
your favorite nurse has just come in.
Hey, there she is. There's Angie. Angie. I got to have dinner with Angie on Saturday. There was Tony, Angie, Johnny Gillum, Christine Gillum, and A.K. Bill from My Alaska.
So it was a real swingers party.
Oklahoma, visiting, and we all got together at JL's in Pryor, Oklahoma at the barbecue house, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you want to know why I enjoyed it so much? Got to have dinner with some great people, but somebody else paid for everybody's dinner, and it made the barbecue even better. Even better.
Isn't that weird how the food all of a sudden tastes really, really good when it's somebody else's?
Well, here's the downside to that. Hang on a minute. The downside to that is they told me this when I was at the register. Why the hell wouldn't you tell me at the beginning? I would have got a hell of a lot more food that they could have paid for if they would have told me prior to going down the barbecue line.
Did you not go back for seconds?
No, there's no seconds. It's a whole new bill after that. But man,
I was on tour with a band in America, and we went to a big celebrity's house to play a private gig, and he said the food. He said, "Go talk to the chef, and whatever you want, the chef will cook for you." So
wow.
that was crazy to say that, because think of all these broke musicians going up there saying, "Have you got lobster?" And he says, "Sure." He said, "Yeah, I'll have a lobster." And then everyone was getting weird and wonderful food. But if he just said, "Go up and get a steak," you would have got the best steak you've ever tasted.
Yeah.
But because he said, "Go tell the chef, ask whatever you want." Yeah.
Now,
And drink.
did my
And
eyes
drink.
deceive me, or was Paul in his underwear?
No, Paul's in his underwear.
That's what I go, what?
Wow.
You never know what you're gonna
At
see.
least they're not tidy whities.
Oh, no, mine are always black.
There you go. Steiner Vintage Tractor Parts will give a free shipping to veterans. Is that an online store? I went and I had to go pick up. In fact, Paul, I got the part. I opened up the brush hog cover that goes. It's a plastic cover that goes into the gear head for the blades, and it sheared that pin right off. I got a brand new pin, so we're going to do an install video on that. And I picked up several extra ones. There you go.
Denise, don't you come up without your handcuffs.
Yeah.
I see Scott Spencer made it in too. Oh,
There you,
that way. One of those. I don't know.
there he goes.
It's hard when we both can click.
And look at this beauty coming in. There she is, Denise.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How's everyone doing?
Good. How's
Hey,
your
good.
week been?
We had to have one person on panel that had hair.
That's it. Hey, I got it. Look at that.
Well, we got
There it
chin hair. Everybody's got chin
Right.
hair.
is. I got back hair. I've got hair all over the place.
There you go.
It's
Now,
everywhere.
I'm not standing on my head.
I've always thought this. You can put a man on the moon, and you can send a spaceship to Mars to pick up some ungodly price rock that it's secured off the Mars surface.
Yeah.
You can split the atom, but you can't take hair off of a man's back permanently. What the hell's up with that?
You can.
I think science is going in the wrong direction.
Look,
can.
look, this is what every Tasmanian needs, right? You got a thermal. This is a skull cap they call a skull beanie. All right, you take that one off. You always got your normal thermal, which gets wet when you're out in the rain. And when all things become desperate, you pull out. Guess who made this one?
There you go. Was
Have a
that
guess
from
who made
Rebecca?
it?
That's
Sure
the
is.
Rebecca hat.
Yep.
Yes, I
So
got a couple from her.
So Miss Rebecca one still does the job. But you can't leave home without 3.
Yes, she was kind enough to send me 2.
So it is
make
an
it-
online business, the tractor company. So good.
So, Denise, how's about you getting the handcuffs out?
Paul's into handcuffs.
Say it
Don't
again,
tell me
Paul.
why.
Because the last time a monkey put handcuffs on me, he was 6'4". It didn't do nothing for me.
Oh, you're talking about one of those Royal MPs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
monkey.
I tend to think you deserved it, you
Yes.
know.
Nope.
And I will tell you, everybody should experience the act of being cuffed and stuffed. Okay,
Yeah,
it's an experience all by itself. So
it
yeah,
will wake you up.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, and
I was-
by all means, resist. That it even intensifies after that one. So
Well, I was in New Zealand one year, and we were having a few drinks in a bar. And as I come out at about 2 a.m., there was a policeman that wore the bobby hats, like it back in the 80s. Policemen in New Zealand looked like policemen in England, the old-fashioned bobby, the bobby hats.
hmm
And he was like a 8-foot Maori New Zealander, and I just grabbed the hat off him and said, "Hey, that hat looks great. What does it look like on me?" And next thing you know, I had my back up against me, twisted up my back. Frog
yeah.
marched down to the local cell, and he locked me up.
Yeah, when I was over in Germany, there was
No, he-
commercials about people like you, Tazzy, and it says, "Don't be that guy.
that was me. That was
Don't be
me.
that
As soon as I-
ugly." Like it's an American Armed Forces radio and television. It says, "Don't be that ugly American." Okay,
That was
because everybody knows we're some arrogant people. I will attest to that because I've had to go pick up many a soldier and many a brothel in Germany and at the Polizei station. So I've done that. I've done it in Turkey. I've done it in Italy. I've done it in Panama, in Korea, Fort Polk, Virginia, Fort Leonard Wood. So, guys, if you're going to be an ugly American, go
What's that?
for it. Okay, go for the international incident because that will get you more attention than you really want. So,
You've got it wrong, Mike. The American service personnel are not the worst. It's the bloody tourists.
the
Oh,
tour-
yeah.
The elegant price.
tourists,
Over here.
The
Yeah.
American tourists. They're worse
yeah,
than the
I
British
read
ones.
that they were protesting in Spain on tourism.
Yeah. I've seen that.
They're not liking it in Spain because the Spanish people are finding out that if they kick tenants out of the apartment or house that they're renting, once their contract is up, they're turning them into Airbnbs. And the common people can't find suitable housing because everybody wants the almighty, whatever the Spanish, whatever it is, coin down there. I don't know what they call it, but
Well, they've got a lot of that going on here in the U.S., though. There's a lot of places that have been doing that where renters are switching their rentals to just an Airbnb or VRBO, however, because one, they can make more money per month than having a renter in there because they have a quicker turnaround. But we've seen something not too long ago because Tara was talking about that. She's like, because we had talked about doing like maybe an Airbnb cabin or something here on the ridge at some point. And yeah, but trying to follow some of that and some of the stories coming from it. I'll build guest houses, but I don't think I'm putting anything out there for online.
So, what's in your area that people would want to come there and rent an Airbnb?
Fishing. A lot of
Oh,
fishing.
really?
Yeah. So we have two major lakes. One like from the ridge here, like one there's a boat launch 7 miles away. Probably 25 minutes to the other lake boat launch. And then the river systems are huge for trout fishing.
Oh, wow.
But
Well, we went up
you've
north of you to go fish that
Right.
October, and we'll be
You've
there
got-
this October also.
Yes.
You've got White Rock Homestead. That's the whole. Everyone will just come there for White Rock Homestead, get a tour of the
Come
farm.
see you work.
That
That's
probably like we've actually even looked at that option too. It's like, you know, when we were looking at full-time RVing before we decided to do the homestead, they have that like work camp where you can sign up and go to like somebody's ranch or homestead or whatever, and they always have projects, and so you sign up, they give you like a spot that you can camp, but in trade you're going to help them like build a structure or do a garden or something like that. We've talked about that, like, you know, maybe later on, but I'm like, man, the logistics of trying to bring people here to try to host something like that, probably more work than I want to do.
Yeah.
We can't even settle on building one house and then not tearing it down. So I don't know what we would do with, you know, guest cabins.
You know, unless
Yeah.
somebody is a huge fan of your channel, something has to be seriously wrong with somebody that would want to spend hard-earned money to go work in the freaking heat in Arkansas
Yeah.
as a vacation. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh, it would definitely have to be like a spring or fall.
Yeah.
Because you really don't want to come during the wintertime necessarily either, because it's nothing but mud.
Right.
Because it rains and with the clay and the rock.
Right.
But that's also the best time to do a lot of your building stuff, because you can get a full day's work on a building instead of a few hours in the morning, do whatever during the day, and then a few hours in the evening.
Now, I wouldn't be against somebody if I knew somebody and they came here and they house sitted for me so I could take more than just a weekend's vacation. Okay. I would do something like that. And if you rip me off, I've got great homeowners insurance, so I'm good on that part. And
What do you want me?
insurance, so I'm good on that. I'll give them the full experience. They can feed the animals and they can brush hog out back. I'll give them a laundry list of things to do.
But oddly enough, though, there is a following of people that will do that. They want that experience to, you know, whether they're looking into homesteading themselves or they just know that they can't do it full time, but they want to, you know, I mean, if you look at the really, really big channels for homesteading, they'll put on animal processing or, you know, bee classes, and they'll bring people to their homestead to host that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're actually, as Tara's looked on it, and there is kind of a market with it. I just don't know. I'm real lenient on who I want to bring up. Jonesy said, "Oh, I'm out of here."
Jonesy's supposed to be freaking working.
Yeah, sort of. That actually was my supervisor, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Talking to Americans," and he just said, "Let me wave at them."
Oh, so that was your boss outside, and you're still in the football.
Yeah, he's just over there, but no, but
Like
the clients, no, we're ready to work, but the client we're actually waiting on hasn't arrived.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, outside a nice oval, and the weather's looking quite nice when you look at it like that. But anyway,
I have to say, I am very surprised with Denise.
Why?
I've never known a more quiet woman in my life.
I think many people that know me would disagree that I'm quiet. I'm just quiet right now. I'm taking it all in.
So you're in North Carolina, am I correct?
Who, me?
Denise, yeah.
No, I'm in California.
You're in California?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, California.
Yeah.
I thought you were on. Why did I think you were on the other side of the United States? And Denise is a reserve. Are you in the reserves?
I was in the reserve.
Oh, you're out now?
Yeah, I've been out I got out after my last deployment.
Okay, you
In
had
2009.
enough. You had enough of that.
Well, I was like, they sent me on a couple, vacations to Iraq, and I just wasn't ready for that vacation to Afghanistan. So I decided to exit before they gave me that vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you would have been in the same stomping grounds as Jason up there. He did. How many tours you do in Afghanistan? 1,
2.
2. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You liked it so much you went back.
What's that, Paul?
You liked it so much you went back.
But they say it's a beautiful country.
Untrue. So Mike and I've talked about that before, and and when you talk to a lot of the different veterans, deployments are the easiest time that you'll ever have in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you don't have all the BS. You have a job to do. You get up every day, 7 days a week. You go do that job, and it's easy. I know I actually was fighting, my first deployment was Iraq in 2003, and I pushed and pushed and pushed ever since that deployment to get on another one, and I just couldn't get in the right position to get on another deployment until 2008, my first trip to Afghanistan, and I mean, but it was a struggle, to try to get, and even on that one. Was kind of luck of the draw that I was able to get in it. And then I changed units coming back from that one and almost went back right away. But they decided it was better for me to stay back and build the systems that we were starting up. So I had to wait an extra year and go back again in 2011.
Now, people might think people are crazy. Military people are crazy.
We are.
We are.
We are to non-military people. For us, it's normal.
Yeah, but for me, I actually enjoy deploying.
That's because you're mental.
Well, yeah, that's my secretive PTSD. But I hated the humdrum day in, day out thing in garrison. Okay. Yeah. I absolutely detested that. It was boring. It was the same thing. And I did 8 deployments my entire career. But if somebody asked me, well, in fact, my unit was not selected for Desert Storm. And I put my hat in the ring under my MOS at the time because I went from an MP to chemical operations specialist because I had gotten out because I had gotten shot and they retired me off of active duty. But when I came back in and I turned that money down, now I could kick myself in the head. But I turned that money down and came back in. The only thing they had was the chemical operations specialist. So when I did that, I was chemical recon, and they needed platoon sergeants in some divisions that were deploying with the Fox vehicle. which is a chemical operations vehicle, has an overpressure system. So while all the other people were in Mach 4 and stuff, we'd go in there, hit the button, overpressure. We were in our boxers and t-shirts while everybody was sweating their booyakas off.
Just like me, yeah.
So I applied for that, and I went over there with the 1st Armored Division. So I got to do that, and I volunteered for everything that happened, and I got selected, and I left my unit to go backfill other units and stuff like that. I don't know if that's mental, but I absolutely enjoyed getting out of that day-to-day mind screw in garrison. I absolutely hated it. So, I mean, because of all the deployments, I did get picked up for E8 really early. And it's just, I don't know. But if you ask a lot of soldiers that have been back and wounded and stuff like that, and I've talked to a lot of them that, because I used to run the Warrior Adventures program for the military through MWR, and they would have gave anything to go back. And it's not so much to go back to be in theater, it's to be with your battle buddies. I think that is a hard bond to break. And it's hard for anybody because you build relationships that you've never had that strong other than family and stuff like that. So, but that was me. I wanted to be with soldiers in combat or on a deployment. I mean, I did 3 Bosnia rotations. I did a year and then 2 6-month rotations in Bosnia. But again, we were one of the first people across the Sava River. We were the first ones to uncover mass graves in Srebrenica. That was just a total mind screw for me. But all in all, I just wanted to be around soldiers and not be in garrison around them. You know what I mean? Putting up with all drunken stuff and putting up with all that domestic assault crap and being a daddy to 30, 45 soldiers. You just don't realize how much a platoon sergeant or a first sergeant has to put up with all the domestic crap that goes on in the military.
Here's a question for you. I got some friends here in the military, and they like to serve overseas because, for one, they pay double, and they get the added bonuses of extra for their retirements. Like they can retire years earlier, and they can.
Well, the U.S. Army doesn't pay double. They do pay a combat imminent danger pay. But then again, when you go over there, they have a $72,000. When I was in, $72,000 up to that point was all tax free for soldiers.
Yeah.
And it's not something you sort of think about when you're actually working, but when you're out there.
Yeah.
But I've just got. Anyway, I've just got someone pulling up right next to me.
Okay.
Yeah. What's up?
So I do know that I was reading in the military.com that this year for E4 and below is going to be one of the largest pay raises ever for enlisted soldiers or service members. It's going to be one of the largest pay increases that they've ever seen. So that's huge.
Wow.
Can't remember what the percent was, but it's more than they've ever got in the past. So
nice.
So that's good. They deserve it. They deserve it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They absolutely deserve it. And if you give them more, give them more.
Yeah.
Because if you want to, if you sign up to do what they have to do, so you can sleep well at night, I don't think you can put a price on it.
So someone had a question for me. Where am I from in California? And I'm around Orange County, California.
Ooh.
I actually work in Orange County, and Jason, I was also in Iraq in 03, and then I went back again in 08.
Yeah, I only got the one Iraq one,
Yeah.
and that was the one in 03. But then I had the two in Afghanistan. And for my MOS, it got hard because once again, it was like, I wasn't in a MOS that kind of, even like Denise, where, being an MP, Mike being an MP, and then going into the chemical warfare. I was a tank mechanic. The only time you can deploy is if they're sending tanks.
Yeah, they use us for everything. So it was like, you need somebody to do something, send them. And
yeah, but still, if you worked on tanks, they're diesel motors. Humvees are diesel motors. 5 tons are diesel motor. They're all diesels. So you pretty much have a working knowledge, basically.
You do. I mean, the advantage of, and I mean, the only correction I'll make is that the tank has a gas turbine. It runs off diesel, yes, but it's a gas turbine. But our recovery vehicle was a diesel, and I did personally work on a lot of Humvees, and the regular diesel stuff, just because I have that mechanical knowledge. But at the same time, like, more in garrison than not, like, hey, when you're deployed, if you can fix it, you can drive it, you're going, right? Licenses aren't really required and what you're trained in, but it depended on your leadership. Whether you were allowed to work out of your AO, right? Can you work outside your box, or do you just need to shut up, color, and stay in your box?
Right.
And that's where, like, for the Marine Corps, and I'm sure it's in all the branches, but, what we experienced with that was, when you get that uber arrogant supervisor, senior enlisted or an officer, they're so cut and dry. Hey, it's by the book. You're not allowed to do this. So you're telling me we're going to wait for hours for the guy that can, when I can fix it in 5 minutes? You're an idiot. That ain't happening. And they're like, no, like, it got aggravating.
Yeah.
But we couldn't deploy. The only way that they really deploy you to be able to work or do something else, outside of your MOS in the Marine Corps, is you become infantry. You're provisional infantry.
Right.
So to go and deploy as a MOS that you're not wasn't an option. And it was so limited. There's not tank-on-tank battles anymore. So even most of our tank deployments were, now Iraq in 03, there was not really tank-on-tank battles, but it was more of support operations, to be honest with you. It was, hey, we're harder to blow up because we're in a 70-ton armored tank. So you lead the convoy and the element, get up, let's get to Baghdad. And then after that, it was overwatch positions, protecting scouts and, infantry that were going in. So it made it harder to get on a deployment when you were in the tank field, for that reason.
Yeah. Hey, so here's a question for Denise. How is life down in the Southern California area? Are you seeing a lot of the protest? Are you seeing a lot of the backlash to ICE down there, and so on?
Well, I haven't seen any protests personally. I see them probably like everyone else does, on TV and things like that. And I have a good friend of mine who works with ICE, so I hear a lot on that end of, the coin.
Yeah.
Law enforcement side of it.
But you're not in law enforcement on the civilian side, are you?
I am.
Oh, okay. All right.
California.
a lot of people that I knew, it's like me, when I got out, law enforcement wasn't even on my radar as things I wanted to do again.
Yeah.
And because I worked drug team for so long, and that's what got me out of the MPs being shot during a drug bust. Someone tipped them off, and I got shot. But it was, yeah, it just wasn't something that was, on my radar whatsoever to do when I got out. I mean, what I did is I retired. I bought a little farm in Missouri, and I just wanted to be away from everybody. I cleared about 40 acres of woods with, let's see, I broke 2 tractors. I broke a bobcat, pulling up stumps and building pastures and stuff like that. It was the hardest year I ever worked in my life. And I said,
And then you met Terry.
I need to be around people again because I was growing a beard. I looked like something that crawled out of the hauler, and all of a sudden one day a lady pulled up to my house because I had a stud farm and I had 13 stud horses, and you bring your mare in there, tell me what you want that horse to do, whether it's a roping horse, a cutting horse, if you want that horse to be a barrel racing horse, a roping horse, whatever. Then we pick the right stud for that mare for its foal. And it was, in and out service. We had a little sign there at the beginning said, humping to please. And that's what I did. And then all of a sudden a lady pulled up in a government vehicle and said, "Hey, are you Mike?" And I said, "I am." And she says, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you about a job." I said, "A job?" She goes, "Yeah, on base here at Fort Leonard Wood, we have horse stables where people can bring their horses. They can rent a stall. They have an indoor riding barn, an outdoor arena, all this stuff, pastures that you can turn your horses out in. And we need somebody to manage that." And I said, "Well, that's right up my alley." And of course, the pay was only like $14.95 an hour at the time. And I said, "Well, I'm making enough in retirement. Everything's paid off." And I did it. So that's what got me back into government service. Was I ran the horse stables at Fort Leonard Wood. And then once I got all that done and everything was, it looked like a freaking state park when I got done with this place. Called in favors with electricians and construction and welders, people that I knew in the community. They had come out on the weekends and worked for me for free, paying off other favors. And then I found out that was illegal in the eyes of the government. And so anyway, once that was all done, they said, "Hey, we're looking for an outdoor rec director because the outdoor rec is failing." And so I took on that job, and I just enjoyed working around soldiers. That longing and that missing to be around soldiers had ended. It filled that void for me. And I did that for the next 20 years. And I just recently retired from Army MWR in July. And it couldn't have been a day sooner. I was done. And I think everybody has that feeling when it's over and the fun has ended. I was an MWR director, and that's not a fun job. Trust me, fighting with the people and the powers that be is not fun in the government. So
the uniforms weren't doing it for you no more.
Yeah. So I'm just glad I got to do that. 45 years serving soldiers or working around soldiers, and it's been a lifetime of fun. But right now, I can't remember people's names that I worked with because I'm enjoying the retired life. So I'm loving this YouTube thing. And Jason and I, when we started this channel, like I've told people before, we came to an understanding why we're doing this channel. We wish other veterans and people would participate in these open mics or join us on here to learn more updates on different kind of benefits and stuff like that. And I'm following our good friend Anthony over at Country Road Cure as he's working the beginning stages of disability and stuff like that. And I've called him on the phone, and I'm sure Jason has too. We want to get him on the show here one time. That would be great to do an interview with him on the steps he's taking now and what he's finding, the good, the bad, the ugly, to getting into the VA system. And I also want to talk to Tim at Ridge Life on the same thing, because he navigated that also when he didn't think he had any benefits to have, and he found out different. So I'm glad you guys are always willing to come up and talk to us. And there's a lot of times veterans don't want to talk. They'll talk when they're around other veterans, but there's certain things they won't talk about. Okay. But once you're totally out, and I get it with people that are active duty, they have to, they got to be down on the down low about certain things that they can talk about. But once your commitment's over and stuff like that, then sometimes it's even hard to get out of that mentality that I really shouldn't say everything, but I can say something. So me, I say everything. If you want to know something about the military and all its craziness, I would tell you in a heartbeat. And who's going to come after me? I really don't care. So,
well, and I think that's the fun part now, right, of being retired, is passing on the knowledge and our experience. It gets a little harder as the longer that we've been retired or we've been out, because there's so many changes that happen. I stayed pretty up to date for quite a while with the happenings of what was going on in the Marine Corps, what was going on in certain units that I was with, talked to people quite frequently. And over time, like I couldn't tell you anything that's going on with it now. Of course, I've made my life like super uber busy now, but being able to come on at this, and then when you get into a spot, I think that's what like Anthony and I think back at it, and every time we're together, we end up talking military something.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Our deployments. And we were talking the timeline this past weekend, and we were in Afghanistan in 2011, my last deployment, at the same time.
Yeah.
He was just in a different spot because he was Army, and me being in the Southern Helmand Marine Corps. So, but where he was at, like we were talking about it. And so when and just like with Denise, where you come on, hey, being deployed to Iraq in 2003, like that brings that bond to be like, okay, where were you at? And then you talk about these things that all of a sudden you're like, I remember that day, like it was horrible, and this is what happened, and that triggers a conversation and memories that a lot of times, especially if we're not around veterans a lot, we don't even think about that stuff. I don't know how many times that I'll have a conversation with another veteran and my wife comes up and she's like, I've never heard that one before. And I'm like, it's not something that I'll remember and be like, hey, I need to tell my wife, because Tara and I didn't get together till after I was already retired. I was out. And so that whole life of being in the Marine Corps, like she didn't experience any of that with me. But I've told her quite a bit. And it's not that I'm purposely holding anything back. It's just sometimes you've got to have that signal of a trigger of a memory to be able to go in and say, oh, now I remember what was going on there. And you start putting things together, and then, you kind of get the rest of the story going.
Right.
But just to come out and be like a random person on the street and be like, let me tell you about that, that'll never happen.
I know that I belong to a lot of MP Facebook pages from where people were stationed. They start these Facebook pages and they see my face and they go, well, I don't remember you. And then I post my private pictures or when I was a sergeant or stuff like that. They go, oh, dude, I remember you because I had hair back then.
So speaking of hair, and I know Dawn's still in here, right? And obviously, like, so for guys that have served in the military, one of the big things, especially if they went long enough to retire, but most of the time, right, you're going to see any veteran that had served for about any amount of time has facial hair, whether it's a full beard, mustache, goatee. So what's the female equivalent of that?
So probably like maybe like alternate colors in your hair that you couldn't have, like probably like nails or jewelry. Like I have like a lot of piercings in my ears now that I couldn't have, or I couldn't have in, you know, in the military. I don't know if the regulations have changed on that. I haven't kept up on it. I saw something about they can have ponytails now, and ponytails were a no-go when I was in, absolutely, for sure.
And I kind of freaked out because we only have civilians on the base I was working here in Oklahoma, but this captain came in to go to the ammunition course, and this captain was walking around, and I seen gold studded earrings in her ears and fatigues. And I said, whoa, ma'am. I said, ma'am, you forgot to take out. She goes, oh, no, that regulation changed. We can wear studded earrings in our ears as long as they're metal of a solid color, yada, 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 whatever. I said, wow, things have changed. But then I just read what Pete Hegseth just put out. All that crap is going away.
Oh, really?
And if you want to be in his military, you're going to adhere to a freaking standard. Okay? No more pigtails and ponytails and jewelry and stuff like that. Yeah, he's getting rid of all that. And if you
I thought that was just the men.
If you, for everybody, and if you remember what he said, you know, and we're not going to put up with this, and we're not going to put up that, and we're not going to put up with dudes in dresses. Okay, that shit is ended, and he made that publicly clear to the entire DoD staff, to all the branches of service. He means it, and I think he also put out that shaving profiles. You can have a shaving profile and you can grow your hair, but it has to be a freaking millimeter or whatever. And then for if you have like bumps and stuff like that, and they'll go through and you'll get treatment for it. And then if it's a recurring thing, then you can either continue to shave even with the bumps or whatever, or you can get the hell out, he said, because we're not going to put up with it no more. So, in fact, they were actually working on people in the military, because when I came in back in the 70s, I seen people with OD green wraps on their head. I seen people with OD green yarmulkes on their head when I first came in. Then they did away with it. Now they were talking about bringing all those religious and cultural things back. Pete said, no, chop it off at the head, as King Henry VIII said.
And I think that, you know, not any disrespect to anybody that, you know, participates in any of those types of things, but if you're joining the military, you're there to be whatever branch you're in, right? You're there to serve and protect the country and, you know, in the Constitution. All the other stuff, if you want to participate in all the other stuff, then go to college. Go to college and be a weirdo freak and do all those types of things there. But the military has a mission and a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to participate in it, then don't come in. I mean, it reminds me a lot of like people that are, we see this on some of the local Facebook pages around here. Is somebody will put on there and they'll be like, "Hey, we're moving from California to your area. What should we do?" And immediately, the first 100 posts and comments on there are like, "Don't." Don't. If you want to move from California or whatever state, right? Don't bring those don't come here thinking that it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's like, hey, we're moving away from those regulations. We want to move away from, and that's the part, I guess, that kind of aggravated me even when I was in, and you start seeing a few of the changes that happened while I was in, was we joined to be one force, right? And then you get in and it's like, well, now there's a standard for this, and we have to make an exemption for that, and we have to like, if you need exemptions, then don't even come. I understand we need numbers to protect our country, but if you're going to be the one that comes in and says, well, but I need you to accommodate I'm not accommodating you at all. You're here to serve the country.
There's like legitimate good reasons for those rules too. Like, I get it. Like, I've been deployed. I've worn the gear every day and everything like that. And there's reasons why, like, you need to have your hair tied back as a female, like not wear jewelry on your hands and in your ears and things like that, because it's going to get in the way or it could cause like harm or whatever. So, like, you need to be able to do your job, and like, these things can prevent you from doing your job. And you're in the military to wear a uniform, to be uniform. You're not there to be an individual. Like, you're there. You're supposed to look the same as everyone else. You're like, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, I seen guys that got completely upset because technically on a deployment, you're not allowed to wear contacts. Now,
for sure. Absolutely.
But when you're talking about chemicals, dirt, dust, I mean, just the environment itself.
Yeah.
It's not conducive to have contacts in while you're on a deployment.
Like, you're not always like in the rear where you have like a sink or running water or a toilet, or I've been so many places where, like, you take that stuff for granted, and then when you don't have it, you're like, wow, that sucks. And then you're like, flushing toilets are such a great thing.
Right.
No, I did see a thing.
Those are wonderful things.
I did see a thing where Trump is giving the walking paper to a bunch of service members that identify as female, and are giving all them their walking papers, or they can conform back to the gender that they were born with and serve in the military. And so that you're going to see that hit the Supreme Court here, I'm pretty sure, in the not too far future. But they had him in. He had called them all into the Pentagon or something like that, and they had a picture of all these guys in female uniforms and stuff like that, and they were getting their briefing on staying or going. So more to be said on that as it develops. So,
and that's the type of thing. I mean, when you looked at all the briefings, when Pete Hegseth came out with it, and you talk about it, I mean, this is our protection as citizens, right? That's our military. To worry about what are they today, and what are their pronouns and all like that, there's no spot for that in the military. If you want to do anything like that, then go to college, and you can do all the crazy frou-frou stuff you want to over there. But that's not the type of thing that we need to know. Like when we're in the trenches, when you go on a deployment and all of a sudden, you need to call for fire, and the person on the other end is like, well, I'm going to refuse it. You didn't call me the right gender. I would lose my mind. Like that's called fratricide. It's friendly fire. And when needed, absolutely necessary. But yeah, there is no place in the military for that.
Yeah.
I think one of the, and I understand the program, and I'm not trying to beat them up, but I'll tell you one thing that really destroyed a lot of the like boot camps, right? They have timeout cards now. They can go, hey, I don't want to train today. Mothers.
That's so
Oh,
crazy.
there's stress cards.
Yeah.
I don't like that. There's when you get deployed and you go to Iraq or Afghanistan, the Taliban's not giving you a stress card.
Yeah. There's no time out in it.
You either do it or you don't.
Yeah.
You have to depend on the people around you, and I don't want to have to depend on someone that can't handle the stress. That's the whole point of basic training, is to stress test you to see if you can handle a stressful environment like war. And it is stressful. It is 24/7. Every single day you are there, stressful. And if you can't handle it, your buddy next to you doesn't need you there, because you're a liability to everyone.
And that's the point of boot camp, right?
Yes.
Is you weed them out.
It's
hey, if you can't handle this, bye, Felicia. Here's your walking papers. Like, we don't need you in this. Like, we need the best of the best. Doesn't matter what the branch is. We need the best of the best, and the ones that are willing to focus on what the mission are, not what's my hair color going to be this week, or what, am I wearing male or female uniform? No need for any of that. So I hope they do clean it up. They need to. It needs to get back to a one standard. And if you don't meet the standard, see it.
Yep. And with that said, I want to thank everybody on panel for coming up. Also want to thank Jonesy over at Tasmania for coming up. And guys, we only do these once a month. The third week of every month, we do a open mic. So please take advantage of that. Come up and tell us your thoughts. Also come in the chat. Say what you want to say in the chat. And that's perfectly fine with us. Pro, con, or whatever, indifferent, we don't care. But what we do want to tell you is, remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. And always, always think of that. Guys, that's what this channel is based on. That's what we will always be based on, helping out the veteran, the service members, and their families. Okay? And to include our Gold Star families whose loved one gave the ultimate sacrifice. Mm-hmm. So any closing words there, Battle Buddy?
Nope, just reiterating basically the same thing. Denise, Paul, Jonesy came up. Appreciate you all actually coming up so that we didn't have to just make some stories up. It gives us some something to do. We're doing once a month, right, guys? We're going to do the open mic. And but even when we're not doing that, get this out to other veterans. Get them out. Let them come in on the comments. They can type away, right? There's talk to text. There's always ways of being able to communicate, get some of that information. But I appreciate you that came up on panel, gave us some more insight, gave us some more banter. And once again, I want to thank all of you for being our weekly counselors.
Yeah,
that's what it is. We're not having to go sit on a couch in some dude's office and listen to whatever shenanigans they have. This does it for us every single week, and we appreciate every single one of you for it.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, thanks for coming in. Remember, Terry and I go live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on MT Homestead. Jason, you go live on
Thursday, and this might be a wild one. Thursday at 6 Central every week, but this week is going to be our anniversary live. So,
all right.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Yes.
Thank you.
And remember, Morning Talks with Mike is every Monday and Friday at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So join Paul and I as we talk over what the hell is going on in America and around the world. So join us for a cup of coffee. Guys, we love you. God bless you. We'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye now.